Hi everyone. Welcome back to Tips Daily. Have you ever finished a tin of cookies, held the empty tin in your hands, and thought, it's too nice to throw away, but it just takes up space in the cabinet? Well, today, I'm going to show you exactly why you should hang on to it. Let's get started. I picked out a piece of brown burlap fabric. It has this rustic, natural texture that fits perfectly with the modern rustic style. I wrapped the fabric around the body of the cookie tin. These tins are seriously sturdy. It would be such a waste to throw them out. Are you like me? Every time you see a nice tin, you stash it in the back of a cabinet, thinking, I'll use it for something one day, but that day never comes? After covering the outside, I trimmed the extra fabric into strips and folded them neatly inside. I used hot glue to secure the fabric edges, and for the bottom edge, I used a small wooden stick to press the fabric down neat, and no burned fingers. For the top rim, it was easier to just use my fingers. Just remember to be gentle. Hot glue can burn if you're not careful. Next, I cut another piece of the same fabric to fit perfectly inside the tin. If the fabric is a bit too large, simply trim it down for a clean look. This gives the inside of the tin a nice, finished touch, like it has its own little interior. Now let's work on the bottom base. I cut a circular piece of cardboard that fits right inside the tin, glued it onto some fabric, snipped the fabric edges into tabs, and folded them in kind of like wrapping a little gift. Once glued securely, I placed the base inside the tin, a perfect fit. Then I glued a jute rope around the seam between the base and the wall, just a small touch, but it makes it feel extra handmade and refined. Now let's move on to decorating the outside. I used a thick white macrame cord, a bit chunky, but looks so stylish, and glued it around the top rim of the tin. Then I added another round of the same cord around the bottom. The mix of brown burlap and white cord gives it that Western feel, rustic but with taste. Time for the fun part, bead decorating. I took small round plastic beads and glued them around the macrame edge at the top, spacing them out about 2 inches apart. Then I added another row of beads on the lower part of the tin, this time offset from the top row to create a sense of movement and softness. Notice how a simple change in bead placement can make your handmade piece come alive. Next is the more intricate part, but it's so satisfying when done. I took a thinner macrame cord, glued one end just below each lower bead, looped it up over the bead above, added a small drop of glue, and then looped it back down to the next bead. Repeat all the way around. This part feels almost like lace weaving, smooth, steady, and incredibly calming. Have you ever started a DIY project and got so into it that you couldn't stop? I always joke with friends, I only meant to glue for 5 minutes 2 hours later. I'm still sitting here. Once the body was done, I flipped the tin over to work on the outer base. I cut a round piece of fabric to cover the bottom, hiding any glue marks, and just like that, everything looks polished and professional. And here comes our little twist. I decided to add legs to this tin, turning it from just a container into a super cute elevated makeup holder. I used large wooden beads for this. Each leg is made from 3 beads glued together in a cluster, and a 4th bead stacked on top like a mini tiered column. I repeated this to make 3 legs in total, spaced evenly around the bottom. Make sure to measure your spacing first so the container stands evenly and doesn't wobble. And it's done. Don't go anywhere because that lid is about to be transformed into a stunning wall decor piece. I started with a thick 4mm macrame cord and glued it from the center of the lid outward in a spiral. I carefully added glue as I went. Round by round, don't rush. Just go slow and enjoy the feeling of the cord shaping under your hands. After covering the lid completely, I used a brown jute rope to trim the outer edge. This finishes off the look and makes the lid feel complete. Now it's ready for the final decorative touch. I styled the lid with a natural theme. You can use faux flowers, dried leaves, or tiny floral sprigs, just don't overdo it. Since we need space to add some text, let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of the next great tips from Tips Daily. I left the center open and spelled the word home using thin jute string. It's simple, warm, and gives that cozy "this is where you belong" feeling. Hang it at your front door, in the kitchen, your workspace, anywhere that could use a bit of charm and warmth. Or if you love giving handmade gifts, trust me, this one's a total winner. So there you have it, 2 super cute, upcycled creations from one old cookie tin. I'm using mine for cosmetics. What would you use it for? And the home plaque, where would you hang yours? Front door, kitchen, or maybe a special little spot that's just for you. To finish it off, I used a wide 6mm jute rope to create a hanger. Just glue both ends to the back of the lid and voila, you now have a handmade wall plaque that's sturdy, beautiful, and full of personality. Wishing you a day full of creativity and joy. See you in the next video.